Live long and scissor, surely no.
Yeah. Oh, live long and scissor. Yeah. Oh man, there we go. New merch.
Boom.
Send that to the
That
t-shirt print.
perfect convergence between.
Yeah, yeah. I mean AEW, the t-shirt company.
Did you see what they did with the scissors?
Did they who with the scissors? Are they selling
They had
scissors?
Oh, I know what
Ricochet
he's
pull
talking
a
about.
scissors on Stokely
Oh
Hathaway.
fuck.
Literally put a scissors to his throat and threatened him. It was fucking weird.
He
AEW is in a very strange, like, just overall. I feel like just saying, AEW, are you okay?
crap.
Do
The
you
word you're
need
looking
to?
for is crap.
Yeah, it's just
AEW's crap.
a bad
And it's
day.
just so annoying.
Well,
But
they would have to end at some point.
Yeah,
yeah. Um Ricochet, very much like Cristiano Ronaldo and Roy Keane. Don't talk.
yeah.
Just do the amazing things you can do better than anyone seemingly on the planet.
And his choice of heel character is very dubious. Like, the inspiration is very clear, and it's not gonna work. Like, okay, like I know certain heel like wrestlers have taken inspiration from dubious people in the sense, like, you can pick a fucking serial killer and you can see that in Wailing Mercy, for example. There's cult
Yeah.
leaders and other occult things you can throw into. Not a rapist, not a human
Yeah.
trafficker, not someone who's still in the current sphere. Like,
You
Not
see,
some-
that's the real issue there. It's ongoing.
Not
It's
some
not someone from back
that's the
then.
fucking problem.
not somebody's character who people can't figure out if you're actually playing a character or not.
That's it. Yeah.
Which is kind of counterproductive to kayfabe.
Hmm.
But I can't give you credit as a performer if I don't know you're performing.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing, because it's not performing. He's small, and that's it. The cameraman hates him. He needs to talk to the cameraman to not have them have to shoot him from fucking here. Like, he's getting done dirty there. I was gonna look at the promo and I went, why is the cameraman bigger than him? Why are they doing, like, figure it out, lads. Angles matter.
They haven't done the Vince McMahon trick of making all of his wrestlers look bigger by taking the shoes off before when doing the interviews.
Yeah.
Was it Tom Phillips? Used
Tom
to have
Phillips had
to
to do the
stand
fucking
spread legs. Yeah.
spread leg, yeah, because he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Just
Spread.
be down here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was Vince's trick was knock the shoes off, so he gets 2 inches of his own height down, so all the rest look bigger by proportion.
Well, you'd have to dig a fucking trench in the ring to fucking make Ricochet look any way bigger, because he's certainly not doing it through his fucking promos.
No, it also doesn't help that Ricochet is like he also is dressing on brand and dressing like a twat. The problem is, like, everyone dresses like a twat when they're a heel. It's kind of expected now at this stage.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, again, you're in the same roster as the likes of MJF and every other wrestler. Like, fucking even Aleister Black did it, where he's wearing fucking turtlenecks and the weird fucking Jerry Adams glasses. Will you fuck off with this? Like, what is this performative shite? Like, be a fucking proper heel or get off the pot. You know what I mean? Like is it just a thing in wrestling vernacular that if you become a heel you have to wear a turtleneck, otherwise you're not just another like heel, you're just a smug heel, and that's totally different.
It's the Christian Cage effect.
But do you know why? But Christian did it first. He has dibs on the fucking turtleneck.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing when we were talking about Jericho.
No disqualification.
Yeah.
Feel free to come to the ring for
There's
Do something a bit different, maybe.
Exactly, yeah.
there's not a
Like,
fucking lick of creativity on that fucking roster, so don't worry about that.
Now it's time to
Nah.
We were giving out about Jericho at the most recent one of the most recent Watch Scraps episodes, and not about Jericho himself, but we were talking about, like, when Jericho had that fantastic world title run on SmackDown when he was suited and booted and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And for the next 5 years, every fucking champion on SmackDown had to go through the same transformation. Where you're in a suit, looking the part, like Mad King type of vibes going on. It's like, you can't keep doing that, right? when Jericho does it, it's great because it's new, it's different, it's at least it's a change of pace for him, it's a gear shift. When Jack Swagger does it, it looks like his mom dressed him up for his first day in fucking school.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I mean? Like certain wrestlers can get rid of. When Del Rio had it, it's like, well, he was already wearing suits anyway, so that's fine. That's just
Yeah,
more
but
of the same.
they had brought him in with that. He was
Yes.
the aristocrat, and that's fine. You set the tone. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like I can't remember who said it, but it was like the next one isn't going to be like the current one. And they were
Yeah.
talking about Hogan to The Rock to Austin to Cena to then became Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Then none of them are anything like each other. Ironically enough, not even like Roman Reigns and The Rock. But you're not gonna, it's not the same. And you think, oh, we'll follow that pattern. No, it's run out. There's no tread on the tires anymore, lads. You need a new one, different one. And if you're gonna be a heel to wrestling fans, modern internet wrestling fans, be fucking easy.
Yeah.
Just be them. Just show the mirror here. Put the mirror up in front and show them themselves as they did it great with fucking Otis.
Yeah.
You just have the lovely, and he's a fucking amazing fucking performer anyway. Jesus fuck, he's an athlete of athletes, but it's easily done. But there's no, heels don't create sympathy for the baby face. They just say something snarky. Like, it doesn't matter. That MJF fucking Jeff Jarrett thing actually is fully, as I speak now, has killed me with AEW. I don't fucking care.
Would you say you don't give a shit? Oh, you said shit.
Ding. It's
I
just,
think we're past the point of foul language, aren't we? It's like, oh, you dropped an S-bomb. It's like, yeah, so is Raw. Like,
but imagine a heel walking out and being well spoken.
Yeah.
And and presented well within themselves. It's almost like if Kevin Owens got a wash, he'd be a revolution.
But again, Kevin Owens has not really changed his character. He's just been a bit more brutally honest.
Hasn't changed his mother fucking presentation either.
But he did when he became the US Championship. He was wearing suits and all that. Didn't fucking suit him. But then that was the point. It was supposed to be jarring.
Yeah,
it was
but he's
supposed to
not
make him look. Yeah.
Not change his hair. Got more of a beard. Rubbed his tattoos, which is nice. But hey, fucking Uncle Corny fucking said it. Steen is Steen. Let Steen be Steen. He's not going to change for nobody. Or should he? Or shouldn't he? I don't hear. He's fucking more fucking successful than I am. Who am I to fucking say armchair fucking booker? But you take his wrestling life partner Sami Zayn. Just tweaks ever so slightly all the time. Tweaky.
But you know, the casting, what they did with him was to dress him down. Was to make him look more everyman. It was like he was wearing, he had the kind of almost like the tracksuit bottom gear as opposed to actual wrestling tights and boots, because that makes him more relatable. The hair's grown out. He's done this. Like, again, it's all about presentation and how seriously are you taken as a wrestler. Like it's only really like again, sometimes it is a conversation of like who looks better in trunks or tights. Jericho's a great example of that, because there's like that small bit of time where like Jericho was really, really successful on Smackdown, but he was in trunks. But find me one person who the first time when they say Chris Jericho, they see him in trunks instead of tights.
Yeah, the long boys.
Yeah. It doesn't happen.
There's something a lot of fucking surprisingly that wrestlers don't do. Employ body language and mannerisms to what they do. No heel does heely things, acts like a despicable person. They're all still quite sterile and nice.
Yeah.
Like MJF's a fucking unduly fucking frustrating case study in that
he's dropped off something significant though. There was so much potential with him, and it feels like it's now too far gone.
But there's no one to put.
There's that contract in the end. Like that was a mistake, unfortunately. But
But
Again, there was no coming for him either. So like, what can he do?
But there's nothing in what he does. It's all by rote. It's a pattern. It's done. He's done it. He was asking for people to say sorry to him again. Like apologize. You should apologize to me. It's like, and I get him. He's apologetic, and he actually played it quite well psychologically, and it makes sense that he does what he does. But it doesn't means nothing. It doesn't affect anything. He doesn't walk into a room and seem like an arsehole. He does arseholey things, and he's mean, and he says this, and he called you a mark and called you this, and blah blah blah. But it's like when he was sitting in the interview eating the food, there are nice things to do, but that takes effort and creativity to actually be willing to try something and willing to do something that is actually genuinely like. Imagine us now. Imagine one of us having dinner now while we're trying. That would be off-putting.
Yeah,
it's something that they don't seem to understand, especially with AEW, how, and maybe this is the booker, doesn't know why things happened and worked. Really. Do an interview segment and have the heel berate the babyface, they get heat. It's like, not really. Not anymore. Like, yeah, but why? What are they berating? What are they berating them about? What is it about the babyface that they're either jealous of or disgusted by that the audience admires? You know? This fucker at worms. Genuinely fucking disturbing.
He's the man, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the higher power. The higher power.
But like, that's where there's so much, like, Jesus, take fucking Glenn Jacobs as a fucking character study. You know? There's a lot there. But no.
It's weird because he consistently was always called like the nicest man in wrestling.
Yeah. And
turns out he's just a horrible person though.
But in wrestling, he's the nicest one.
Yeah, wrestling's an altered state. Like it's a hyper reality, not a real place.
Like you see, look here we are, fucking fairly creative you people, trying to affect stories onto people and make people feel a thing. You need to know what's gonna affect a person, but to do that, you need to actually be a person.
Yeah.
Wrestlers aren't people. They're wrestlers, and they forget that they actually should be people who wrestle. They're not actually, because you devote your fucking life to one fucking thing. It happens with comedians. It happens with, you know, not as much with actors because they play role, but you see when they talk in an interview. Jesus fucking hell!
I think
not
it's always
real
like
people.
It's like an echo chamber of its own right, where like you're on a track. But I think it's the same with like if you're going through any professional athletic track. It's inherently an immoral thing, and it's inherently like it's an inherently selfish thing as well. Like wrestling, as much as we're kind of puffing up the chest of other people earlier on, like you have to be selfish to succeed. Because you are your own asset. You have to build your own brand. You have to market yourself. You have to establish an advantage, or whichever way you want to kind of ascribe to it, you know. But certainly, like it's a case where like I would feel personally. Again, this is like part of the RPG stuff as well. It's like you're not a product of your own environment either if you don't want to. Like you can be someone who's consciously able to say, this is a bit politically dubious. This person has a history. This person has a history. And I can say, I don't want to work with these people. That's my terms. The problem with wrestling is that makes you the asshole, especially on the independent scene where like options are limited anyway, or in certain degrees. And if you tell a promoter, I don't want to work with this guy because he's been exposed as A, B, C, and D, and it's been fucking tangibly proven that is the case, and I'm not working with him because that makes me look bad in and of itself, that promoter docks your pay for not working. Like that's fucked up. That's totally fucking unreasonable. Whereas the correct answer, obviously, is don't book the asshole. You know what I mean? And that's an inherent weakness in the structure. There's nothing that like any promoter can do about that except for just have a high moral center. But the problem is moral center and making money are diametrically opposed.
You know.
So that's a problem in its own right. That can't be fixed. That is the nature of the beast. And that's the same thing with and then scale that back over to WWE where they're hiring people like fucking Logan Paul. Hulk Hogan is still getting gigs and Tender Rage are fucking 100. And his fucking feelings on other people with a different skin color than him. You know.
Well, actually fairly close to him, the mahogany looking cunt.
To be fair, yeah, exactly. He's getting there by osmosis. But even then, like eventually Vince McMahon will find his way back in. There's a few sneaky little back doors there.
I think we might actually be done with him.
I hope so. I really hope so.
He's in his 80s.
I don't know if he'll be proven wrong, but I hope so.
He's in his 80s, and he's been pumping fucking steroids for at least 30 years. His heart has to give out sooner or later.
I think all the
he doesn't have one.
I feel like again, like I love
Iron Man.
To be a pathologist. I love to be the pathologist that actually does the autopsy on someone like Vince McMahon or Trump or eventually Musk, God willing. And I'd say it'd be a case of like there is probably some sort of gland or some sort of biomarker, some sort of chemical in there that makes that person evil. Like it's one of the things where like people who are like depressed or whatever they're missing dopamine in their system or lack of serotonin. There's probably like probably a chemical called contamine or something like that that turns them, that makes them evil. But it also has the added effect of like extending your telomeres so you can make people suffer longer.
I've seen it, and I see it with people who I'm actually dear friends with, and I see the way they portray themselves publicly on social media versus how they would speak in a direct message and how they are physically beside me. It is mind-blowing, the different iterations of people. And if you were to I try to pride myself on having my timeline match the live experience, which is what if you go, I make a new friend on the internet, and it's an internet friend, and I go, they're scrolling now. Yeah, that's right. I believe all of this. Yes, and the memes, and the social justice. Yes, take it all. And then there's just so much of it that's the lads who are take your. Jesus, what a fucking Venn diagram of arseholery. Fucking Vince, fucking Trump and Musk are devoid. They are separate. They are disconnected from, I'm going to say, the planet, the universe, society, the tribe. Pick your phrase. But there's something missing. There's a block or a severance or something. The signal isn't going back and forth. We are all the one mushroom, essentially. Come us all be the collective biome of the planet. We are all one. Well, we'll all be fucking floating around in the fucking clouds in a minute together, so it'll be grand. Off to Oz we go. But like, there's a connection to people, and that's what people kind of miss. Especially with social media, because you have the blinders on, you stay in your fucking space, you stay in your fucking lane, you stay with the things you like, or the things that violently frustrate you, hence algorithm engagement, either yay or boo. That's what happens. And I'm seeing stuff that I'm like, I actively don't like this stuff, and why am I being shown this? Oh, that's why I actively dislike it.
And you can interact
and that's great, but the algorithms haven't fucking factored in my fucking Olympic ability to disassociate from reality. It's great, but
it helps. It fucking helps.
That's a chosen reactive survival thing of reared what I was reared, the temperament I have, fucking soft boy in where I fucking grew up at the time I grew up in, right? And then you have people who, by either choice or design, chose harshness.
Yeah.
And they believe in harshness. Those three fellas believe in stark, harsh, brutal, onto violence, onto just, you're into the vitriol, you're into the, but they believe that that's good. And I look at that and go, that was a bit fucking mean, wasn't it? That wasn't in the spirit of the community at all. Sensitive Archie boy versus fucking put me in a room with fucking Trump. Could you fucking imagine? One of us would explode. I don't know who. One of us would explode. I'd either annoy him so fucking much, or I just wouldn't be able to connect to him. I need to connect to people. I don't think these guys know that they aren't. I don't think they know. And they think that they are. And they believe that they are through force. As opposed to actually having the people around you. And hello.
I think this is also kind of an Irish thing as well, in a sense where, like, no matter how high your hubris gets, you'll always have somebody putting you back down to earth, and that is a good thing. It's important to have, because the reason why those three cunts you mentioned, the reason they're in a position at the end is because they've insulated themselves with people who are profiting off their success as well. It's a little inner circle, and it's a little ring of abuse. To a certain degree, where they will constantly go, oh yes, absolutely, we should do that, and just keep saying yes, keep saying yes, keep saying yes, and you have this little circle of sycophancy around them, to the extent where they believe their own bullshit so much, they are unstoppable. They can say whatever they want, they can do whatever they want. Again, look at that fucking genocidal prick doing fucking Nazi salutes, because he can. He knows he can. Also knows it's a good way of distracting you from all the other shit the other fucking rapists is doing. You know what I mean?
Is it Josh?
All part of a strategy.
There was a lad who was with Jon Stewart on his last run. Josh Johnson.
Yes.
African American lad. Fucking brilliant. Oh my God, he's an afternoon of content. He is on the beat of every current topic, and he's my news. I wish he knew more Irish stuff. He's fucking amazing. The way he carries himself, his pattern, the way he just handles content, it's just amazing. Perfect. He's perfect. He's I fucking, without it being personal stories, he's modern fucking Pryor. He's the next thing of comedians, I think.
Okay.